Welcome back guys. The Last of Us Part 2 received a new update just a few hours ago in the form of patch 1.4. It includes many improvements and bug fixes. This is the update log. DLSS upscaler has been updated to version 4 transformer model. Added support for multi-frame generation, which is exclusive to RTX 50 series GPUs. Resolved a bug that caused severe ghosting when using FSR frame generation. That's good to see. Addressed an issue where AMD FSR frame generation did not generate new frames. Updated XeSS upscaler to version 2.0.1, improve the game's stability. In this video, I'll be testing the game on my Rog Ally running on Windows 11. A couple of weeks ago, Asus released a new GPU driver that added support for AFMF 2.1, but it was causing the game to crash at startup. A few days ago, Asus released another GPU driver that fixed this crashing issue. So make sure you're on the latest GPU driver. You can download it from my Asus application. It's based on AMD GPU driver version 25.5.1. I've already done my testing. This game officially supports FSR 3.1 and AMD AntiLag 2, which helps in cutting down the latency. But whenever I combine these technologies on Rog Ally, they cause the game to stutter a lot. This issue was even present in the launch version of the game. But at that time I was using an older version of AMD GPU driver, so I thought it was the GPU driver that was causing this issue. This time I'm running on the latest GPU driver, but this issue is still present. I'm still not impressed with the smoothing effect of FSR frame generation in this game. I've already tested DLSS enabler mod. The mod smoothing effect feels better than that of official FSR frame generation. I was also able to get AntiLag 2 working with mod FSR frame generation. It did not cause any stuttering issue. The mod achieves this by using fake NV API that replaces NVIDIA Reflex with AntiLag 2. I highly recommend using DLSS enabler mod in this game on Rog Ally. First, I'll run the game without the mod installed, highlight the stuttering issue with FSR frame generation and AntiLag 2 enabled. Adrenaline version 25.5.1. Show you the game's Adrenaline settings. Open the game's profile. From here, I've enabled FreeSync and VSync. I've set the UMA buffer size to 6 GB. My Ally is running on BIOS version 3.4.1. Install the latest official GPU driver that adds support for Doom the Dark Ages. Using a 27 watts manual profile, all three power values set at 27 watts. I'll set the resolution to 720p. CPU boost disable. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to LI 2.4 GHz wireless mode. Launch the game. In-game settings, display mode set to full screen, 720p resolution. Upscale method. I'll select FSR 3.3 using its quality preset. AntiLag 2 enable. Frame generation disable for the time being. VSync off. I'm using the medium preset with post-processing effects disabled like depth of field, motion blur quality, bloom, lens flare, chromatic aberration intensity and film grain set to nil. That's it. Launch the game. I'll enable AntiLag 2's latency monitor by pressing its hotkey combo Alt Shift and L. You can see the latency value 65 milliseconds. FPS here is close to 45. Straight away jumped into downtown Seattle, one of the most demanding areas in this game. There can be a few hiccups here and there while traversing the area. It's very heavy on the CPU. Yeah, you can see the CPU load here, 70%. Okay, FPS stays within a range of 42 to 47. Now I'll enable FSR frame generation. Latency value 60 to 65 milliseconds. Set frame generation to FSR. Apply. Resume the game. Here FPS increased to around 80, but the animation quality is looking a bit jarring. Just observe the latency value. Sometimes its color changes from white to grey, indicating a stutter. You can also see a few spikes on the frame pacing graph. There you go. I'm observing this stuttering. AntiLag 2 is losing its mind. Still has issues with FSR frame generation. Image quality is looking very average as well. I'm observing some grainy pixels around the character model. In order to fix this problem, we just need to disable AntiLag 2 of frame generation. I want to use frame generation, so I'll just disable AntiLag 2 off. Latency monitor is gone. Apply. Resume the game. Now just observe the frame pacing graphs. Yeah, the spikes are gone. Stuttering issue has been fixed by disabling AntiLag 2. But I'll be honest, I'm still not impressed with the smoothing effect of FSR frame generation. Not a big improvement in performance. I'm observing some texture shimmering in the background around the railing. I would recommend using XeSS version 2 upscaler. We can combine it with frame generation, display settings, upscale method. XeSS will use its ultra quality preset, which is equivalent to the quality preset of FSR 3.1 upscaler. Apply, resume the game. Yeah, the railing in the background is not producing that shimmering effect. Now I'll show you how to install DLSS enabler mod. I'll be enabling XeSS 2 upscaler, FSR Frame Generation and AntiLag 2. Download the latest trunk build from DLSS enablers GitHub page. I'll give its link in the description. Scroll down until you find the asset section, expand it, click on the .exe link here. I'll show you the directory where you need to install DLSS enabler mod. Select the game in your Steam library, right click, manage, click on browse local files, copy this directory. Now just run DLSS enabler setup file. You will find it in the downloads directory. There it is. Check this option, I accept. Click on next, paste the game directory here. Next, check the first option, install as a version.dll file. Check this option, enable support for AMD and Intel GPUs. Check this option, install Optisaler 0.6. We'll be using Newcomb 9 Smart to replace DLSS frame generation with FSR frame generation. So I'm not installing Optisaler version 0.7. Won't be using Optisaler FSR frame generation. Next, install. Wait for the process to complete. Now theoretically, enabling DLSS frame generation automatically enables NVIDIA Reflex. At this point, the mod replaces Reflex with AntiLag 2. But for some reason, mod AntiLag 2 does not work in this game after enabling DLSS frame generation. In order to get it working, we need to force disable Reflex via fake NV API. I'll show you this process. Uncheck this option, click on finish. Open the game's install directory where you install DLSS enabler mod. Right here, look for a file name fake nvapi.ini. There it is. Open it. Just set force underscore reflex to 1, which corresponds to force disable. Click on file, click on save, close. Now look for a file name nvngx.ini in the same directory. There it is. Open it. From here, just set generator to FSR31. Scroll down until you find a line named DX12 upscaler. Just set it to XeSS. Scroll down until you find init flag section. There it is. Just set auto exposure to true. Click on file, click on save, close. We are done here. You can check the version of XeSS upscaler. Just highlight lib xess.dll file. And there it is. Version 2.0.1.41. Last game. In-game settings, display mode full screen, 720p resolution, frame rate cap 360, NVIDIA Reflex enabled, frame generation set to DLSS frame generation, upscaler DLSS mod is working, upscaler preset legacy or transformer, it does not matter on a PC with an AMD based GPU, using the upscaler's quality preset sharpness level 4, graphics settings, medium settings with post-processing effects disable, same as before, depth of field, motion blur off, bloom off, lens flare disable, chromatic aberration intensity, film grain intensity set to nil. Open Optisaler menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. There it is. From this drop down bar, make sure XeSS upscaler is selected, auto exposure setting is on, fake NV API settings, force reflex set to force disable. We had set these settings via the INI file. Save INI, close. I enable AntiLag 2's latency monitor. Press its hotkey combo Alt-Shift-L. Yeah, it's working. If for some reason it does not show up, then just go to display settings and enable in-game AntiLag 2. It should show up now. Game will automatically disable it and switch to mod AntiLag 2. Keep NVIDIA Reflex enabled. I'm in downtown Seattle. Look at that frame facing graph, not a flat line. It's due to the recent changes in NVIDIA's timeline, does not affect the performance. FPS here is within a range of 70 to 75. AntiLag 2 latency value 80 to 85 milliseconds. It's working properly now. Game is not stuttering. You can see its color is not graying out, stays white. I'll just explore the area on horseback. Look at that animation quality, so smooth. What smoothing effect is better than that of official FSR frame generation? Trying to jump over the gap. Sprint. It's a shame that we cannot use the official anti-lag to implementation with the official FSR frame generation. Not sure why. Mod is working perfectly fine. Take foliage here. Oh my god, look at that CPU load. Close to 90%, 80 to 90%. I think the shaders are getting compiled in the background, but the game is not stuttering, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, this sequence is very demanding. Real world input delay, it's manageable. Okay, now I'll show you some combat. We're fighting against the undead. This particular area is very heavy on the GPU. Still FPS is above 60. RAM usage around 5.7 GB. No artifacts around Alice character model. Even the HUD elements are not flickering. Playing as Abby now. There's the hold. Yeah, here FPS is a bit variable. 70 to 90 depends on the scene. So dark. And just shoot at them. Shoot at anything that's moving. Good performance here. Stuttering is not an issue. Melee combat. So that's how you get XeSS 2 upscaler, FSR frame generation and anti-lag 2 working in this game without any issues stuttering. So that's it for the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.